All right, so I'd like to show you our outdoor chicken setup, our stationary space where we keep our chickens for the winter. Next video will be our chicken tractor. So just some things to you consider when you're setting up a stationary chicken space. How are you going to handle manure? How are you going to keep their water and keep it from freezing in the winter, at least in Western Pennsylvania, in the area I live? Where's their food going to be? Where are they going to roost at night? And protection from predators. So you'll see in the video how we do all of those things. Not saying it's the right way, it's just the way that has worked for us. Take away from it what you will, what you find helpful. If you have any other ideas or thoughts, throw those in the comments so that this video along with his comments can be resources for those that are thinking about having chickens and don't want to deal with stinky chicken coops. Hello from the inside of our chicken tunnel. The ladies are right behind me here. I wanted to go over a couple of the things that we've kind of adopted as we've owned chickens longer. Things that just I think make life a lot easier and make them help work for your backyard, your garden, your homestead, your farmette, wherever you are in your stage of growing food. For me, in the winter, one of the most important things is water that doesn't freeze. So in the winter, we use a metal water. It's on top of this plate and plugged in. Now this doesn't get hot. It has a thermostat in it that turns on when the temperatures are below 32 degrees, from my understanding. So it's not like if I go to touch this that it's hot, but it keeps the water from freezing. I like to hang their feeder. It just gets it up out of the dirt. I need to move that one up just a little higher, but it keeps it out of the dirt. Chickens are always scratching and flinging things, so if you lift that up just a little bit higher, it will keep that out of the dirt and that kind of thing. And also, that's why the water, you can't see it, but it's on a pallet, on some paver stones, and then up, just to keep, as the chickens fling the deep bedding around, it keeps it out of the water within reason. Another thing I've decided is I don't believe in cleaning chicken coops. So my philosophy is wherever the chickens are, there's nothing that's underneath them for them to poop on and to like gather manure, because wherever they perch, there's going to be a lot of manure underneath them. So the bottom of this chicken coop that we use is open, and there's deep bedding underneath. This makes it so I never have to like scrape off, pry off, wash off a lot of chicken manure. All I have to do if there's a little bit of buildup is I take this tool right here and I just stir the bedding. It stirs the manure into the deep bedding and just basically stores it until the spring when I mound up this deep bedding for it to heat up, break down, and make amazing compost to go on top of the garden. Hello, Mia. Now, our philosophy when it comes to keeping our chickens for the winter is basically we want to keep the wind off them. So we have the high tunnel that covers them. We have a sheet that we bring around and covers that end. And then this end we've covered with a tarp. Now they can get out. There's a passageway for them to get out. This is the east end, which a lot of times isn't an issue unless you've got a storm blowing in, like a nor'easter or that kind of thing. So we did have one of those storms blow in this year. So we covered this end to make sure the rain and snow didn't come in. So they have in here about a 8 by 16 foot space that's always dry, the wind is blocked, and has a whole bunch of deep bedding. If I dig until I find dirt, that's, you know, over a hand deep of bedding. And that was our fall leaves. Now the chickens have been scratching through that and walking over it. Hello, ladies. And breaking those leaves up for us. And also, every time you disturb the bedding, they're fairly certain there's something very interesting in there for them. So I mentioned in my last video, or our video on our first video in the series of like what we've learned about having chickens, that we had modified our chicken tractor multiple times. So this is what's left. It was one of those that kind of had like an open space in the front. It had an open space underneath. It had a tray that went in the base of this. Hello, Katie. That you like was supposedly for like you put the shavings in and then you can clean it out. Again, I have decided I don't clean chicken coops. So we removed that, removed the front. And so now all it is a place for them to roost at night and a place for them to lay their eggs. Hi, Goldie girl. This is Head Chicken here. Hello. So as our calmer ladies are hanging out here with me, just in general, they need the wind and moisture kept off them. So they need a place that's well ventilated, and they need a place to roost at night. So that is what this is. Their feathers are very insulating. So as long as they have a nice perch that they can kind of squat down on and cover their feet with their feathers, that helps keep their feet and their legs warm. So it's more important in some ways to make sure you're well ventilated. You don't want something that's too sealed up because they create just water vapor from breathing. So if you have a space, if this space in here was very sealed up, then there would be a lot of condensation on their crowns and their wattles. And that is not good for them. That when it's cold and there's a lot of moisture, that's not good. That's when they can start having problems. So well ventilated, some space to roost, and then like you'll see right now. Let's see. They're gonna make a liar out of me because they just quit. But they're pecking through that deep bedding. So just kind of looking at what we have here. This is the door that used to have, you know, access to their inner space. So it's open to the bottom. So the only thing I do in here is periodically come in. If there's a buildup of manure down here, I'll just stir the bedding, mixes some manure in. Here is their nesting box out the back. Now up here, it is a good idea to close the nesting box at night so they don't roost in it. Right now we're kind of not in that habit, so the nesting box is a little bit dirty. We need to fix that. It's just a matter of reestablishing the habit. So this door, or this, we just make this so it's turned like we put it down at night after they're done laying their eggs for the day, and then open it up in the morning. Mainly, I haven't started doing that because I'm afraid I'm going to forget in the morning because they just literally started laying eggs like maybe a week ago or so. We're getting about 1 egg a day right now, hoping for that to pick up. You'll see these wheels here. We basically put this on a frame, kind of making it similar to like a wheelbarrow, a cart, that kind of thing. So it's easier to move around. Here is our nesting box. We have 1 egg. You can see we have some chicken droppings in it. So that's why we need to start closing this at night so they're not roosting up here. They drop about half of their manure while they sleep. So we don't want that in here. Right now we're using some wood shavings because we don't have any hay. I'm going to get a bale or 2 of hay pretty soon so that we're able to use that. I do like using these plastic crates because they do allow dirt to drop out. Right now the shavings are so fine. I just took one of our chicken feed bags and put underneath the shavings, but once I have hay in here, I'm not going to need this. Now here is our outer part of our chicken run that they can access this. They don't typically like to be out here in the snow. So just a level of protection that has worked for us thus far is we use this berry netting above the run. This keeps our aerial predators out. One of the other things that we use to protect the chickens from predators during the winter is I have an electric fencer hooked up. Now we have one line that goes low to try to prevent anybody from trying to burrow underneath, and then we have one that's a little bit higher. That's one of those things, I don't know if anyone or anything has ever tested it, if it has prevented something from getting in and trying to attack the chickens, but I'm afraid to not use it. We also, this line of electric goes around our garden as well to help keep deer and other things out. So there's the chickens' indoor space. Look from the outside. There's the tarp, high tunnel, and that's our entrance point from the garden. It is not fancy. Once winter's over and we've moved the chickens out into their mobile space, what we'll do is we'll bring the chicken coop this way. We'll cover part of this with a tarp for shade, and we reclaim that space. We'll remove the plastic and we grow on that trellis either beans or squash or something like that, but that is garden space that will be used once the chickens have gone out. But then we also have this space here if we need to move them out of the mobile coop for a period of time. Here's our view of our chicken tunnel from the house side. This is the west side where we do get a lot of wind and things. You'll notice we have some straw bales to help block the wind. We have some roofing panels against that, and that seems to work wonderfully. I go in there myself when it's really windy and really cold to get a feel for how it is in there, and it stays very comfortable. The wind is blocked and they have plenty of places to hunker down. The next thing you need is a German Shepherd that absolutely loves the chickens. In all seriousness, it is something to be aware of how your dog, if you have one, is going to react to your chickens. She has been interested in the chickens since she was a little puppy. Allowing her to go in with us allows us to supervise and her to be there on our terms. Because my concern is if we get a chicken that gets out, she could get so excited that she could hurt them unintentionally. And also I know from letting her go in this winter, she's never going to intentionally hurt one of these chickens. If she does, it's going to be because she's so excited and accidentally hurts them. She kind of is submissive to them, like she'll sniff but back off. So it's pretty cool to watch. Ma'am, take it easy. She gets a little too excited though. She is still just a 2-year-old pup. Okay, this is one of those things, it's very simple, but it's very helpful. I don't have this attached here, but having something that you can put in the doorway that your door is allowed to be open, but like if you're just like moving food or water in, it's just nice to not have to rush to keep the chickens from trying to sneak out while you're hauling in water and food. So that's just a nice thing along with the German Shepherd head. Ma'am, no, we're not going in right now. She's just like a little kid. She loves going in there so much. Okay. All right, so this is insanely simple, but old bed sheet, couple bricks to hold the bottom down. I have a knot tied here, and I just bring this around. This is the cattle panel that the plastic is on, and I just loop it around that and pull it tight. it then just blocks the wind. It kind of seals up the end and gives them a nice space that's free of wind. That sun comes in, that greenhouse plastic helps warm it up. It's a very simple thing that doesn't require a lot of materials, and also we're not tied down to one spot. If next year we decided we didn't want to winter them here, it would not be impossible to just move these things that we have here somewhere else pretty easily. It'd probably be a day project, maybe probably half a day, and just set them up somewhere else. Thank you for joining us today. My next video on the chickens, at least, is going to be on our mobile structure, why we use it, things we would do different if we were to build a new one from scratch. And in about a month, we're going to go through a process that we've never gone through. We're going to be getting some chicks. Anytime we have gotten chicks in the past, but they've always been old enough that they're feathered out. They didn't need any heat, supplemental heat. We didn't need to keep them inside. We didn't need a brooder. So that is going to be a first for us. I think probably end of March, so I'm very excited about that. So next video, chicken tractor, mobile coop, chicken tractor and mobile coop kind of go together. And then at some point you're going to get to see our chicks. So thanks for joining us.